A severe thunderstorm was located 11 miles west of Montague, or 18 miles northwest of Muskegon, moving east at 60 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour. In Grand Rapids has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Newego County in west central Michigan, Muskegon County in west central Michigan, southern Oceana County in west central Michigan, until 3:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 2:25 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located 11 miles west of Montague, or 18 miles northwest of Muskegon, moving east at 60 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Muskegon, Newego, Muskegon Heights, Fremont, Roosevelt Park, North Muskegon.
We can see the shelf cloud here.
Okay,
this is our gust front.
Shores,
and oh my,
Holton,
this is one of the most well-defined shelf clouds I have ever seen.
Casnovia. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building.
Very well-defined shelf cloud. Again, these are destructive storms, life-threatening storms for Kent County. Would not be surprised to see destructive tags of your thunderstorm warning come across the pipeline here. We have a destructive tags of your thunderstorm warning coming in. So this is a life-threatening situation. 97 miles per hour. Okay? Oceana Shores, Grand Beach, New Buffalo. You guys need to get in the basement. Destructive tag severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Kent County. This is a life-threatening situation for the Metro Grand Rapids area.
Hello everyone, West Michigan Weather here. We are going live for our storm chase on this February 27th.
Measured a wind gust of 145 miles per hour, 145 miles per hour wind.
See the lights on the tower. Some really white-out conditions here.
More power flashes. Power flashes. Big power flash. 64.
The National Weather Service in Grand Rapids has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern New Eagle County and west central Michigan.
All right. Good evening, West Michigan. Hope you all are doing well. We are going to go live here. Let me just make sure audio is working. We're talking about our severe weather threat here this evening. Alright. Looks like audio is working okay, so we will go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. Alright, so as many of you are aware, we have a very dangerous couple of days ahead. First day is today, obviously, and then into the evening and overnight hours. That is already well underway with numerous severe thunderstorm warnings, including some warned for winds of 70 miles an hour or higher. And we just had our first tornado warning of the period here just a few moments ago, and that will only increase as the storms that developed between Lincoln and Topeka continue to transition off to the east and northeast and get into this more favorable environment here to the south and east of Des Moines, Iowa, and Davenport, Iowa there, where the tornado potential will be maximized over portions of Iowa, Missouri, and Point South. So anywhere in this red circle, if you have anybody in these orange or red contours here, now is a good time to give them a call, shoot them a text, make sure that they are aware of the severe weather threat and that they're taking appropriate action steps. As I said, this is already well underway with multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, and our first tornado warning of the entire event issued just a few moments ago. As you can see, if we zoom in here towards Michigan, the outlooks have changed a little bit since our initial video update this morning and our subsequent social media posts. My personal thinking, hasn't really changed a whole lot. But the National Weather Service, the experts at the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center in Norman, have in fact expanded our risk areas. As you can see, we had essentially this area here, New Buffalo and Three Oaks. Essentially, this was our slight risk, or our yellow area this morning, and all of this was marginal, this dark green color, level 1 out of 5. However, this has since been upgraded to an enhanced risk, and we'll talk about why here in a little bit, why we're seeing this categorical upgrade to a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk. We'll talk about what is driving that. And the slight risk has been expanded significantly to include now all of Berrien County, all of Cass County, all of St. Joseph County, parts of Kalamazoo County, all of Van Buren County, and parts of Allegan County. And I think even maybe a little bit of Branch County is included in that as well. So if you're in any of those counties, especially the southwestern part of those counties, we do have that level 2 out of 5 slight risk that's now in place across that area. And then the marginal risk remains largely unchanged, just a little bit north of Manistee there, comes down through Big Rapids before it skirts off to the south, staying just shy of Lansing and just shy of Jackson before dipping down to the Michigan-Ohio state line. So those are our new updated risk areas. that have come out since we posted our update video this morning. We'll dive into that in just a minute here and give you an update on what to expect. But I do want to quickly highlight one other thing here, and that is tomorrow's risk. And frankly, this is pretty insane. So we have a day 2, meaning an outlook for tomorrow. So a day 2 high risk, completely maxed out, level 5 out of 5 on the categorical risk scale. Hold on, Owen is shooting me a message. Let me make sure he doesn't need anything. All right. So as I was saying, we have this level 5 out of 5 high risk for portions of Alabama and Mississippi here for tomorrow, with a very large moderate risk and larger enhanced risk extending around that, but a very dangerous day for severe weather on tap for tomorrow, with a tornado outbreak expected, multiple numerous strong long track violent tornadoes expected tomorrow. And this is going to be our tornado risk for tomorrow. Let me just pull this up quickly here. This is our day 2 tornado risk. You see here we have this pink hatched area, this pink area overlaid with these black hatch marks. That means there's a 30 to 44% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of any point in this pink circle here. So, well, you say 30 to 44%, that's not that high. And you'd be right, but we are talking about tornadoes. Think about how rare tornadoes are, and then say you have a 44% chance of seeing one within 25 miles of any point. That's a pretty significant risk. So a very dangerous day for severe weather tomorrow, or on tap for tomorrow, I should say. Major tornado outbreak expected. Here's our damaging wind threat for tomorrow, and our large hail threat for tomorrow as well. So very dangerous day for severe weather down across the south and southeast. So if you're vacationing down here for spring break, or if you know someone who's down here for spring break, if you have friends or family who live down here in Mississippi and Alabama, make sure they know what's happening. And of course, we don't want to discount the fact that they are also in a risk for today. This is our day 1 outlook. So all of Mississippi here, essentially, the northern 3/4 of the state of Mississippi, essentially, is under a moderate risk, and that extends into Tennessee and Arkansas, and then all the way back up into the central plains into the Midwest that we already covered here. So taking a look locally, again, these risk areas have expanded. We'll start down here with the far southwest corner of Berrien County. This has been upgraded. This is our tornado outlook for this evening. We can see here in this brown category, or brown shading area here, so Bridgman, New Buffalo, Buchanan, Niles, anywhere in this brown shaded region, you guys have a 5 to 9% chance for a tornado within 25 miles of a point this evening, as these severe storms move through the area. And I apologize, I'm still trying to get my back in order here. And then, of course, this 2% area has been bumped significantly to the north and east as well, to include anywhere from about halfway between Douglas and Ganges, all the way through Allegan, over towards Plainwell and Battle Creek in Calhoun County, and then all the way down between Sturgis and Bronson there, south of Coldwater to the Michigan-Indiana state line. So 2 to 4% risk for a tornado anywhere within this green shaded area. And then this is the big reason for that upgrade to enhanced risk. We see this red shaded area here for those same areas: Grand Beach, New Buffalo, Three Oaks, Union Pier, Lakeside. You guys have a 30 to 44% chance of seeing a damaging severe thunderstorm wind gust as the storms move through the area this evening, and a 10% chance, as denoted by these black hatch marks overlaying that risk area, for any of those gusts that do occur to be over 75 miles an hour. Then we do see that significant severe parameter continue. We have these black hatch marks overlaying this portion of our yellow risk here. That yellow risk is indicating a 15 to 29% chance for severe weather, as well, or 15 to 29% chance for severe wind gusts, as well as that 10% chance for any of those wind gusts to be over 75 miles an hour. And then outside of that black hatch area, we just have a 15 to 29% chance for a damaging wind gust. And then again, this brown shaded area here is a 5 to 14% chance. It extends from about Manistee down through Big Rapids over to Jackson and down towards the Michigan-Ohio state line there. 5 to 14% risk for damaging winds within that area as well. Hail looks pretty similar, except we are only in a 5 to 14% risk, so less than all of our other hazards. Hail is the thing we are least concerned about this evening, but the chances are non-zero. I forgot to turn my light on. There we go. Make me a little bit brighter. Hail is, of course, the least concerning severe weather hazard that we have this evening, but it is there nonetheless, non-zero risk for large hail, anywhere from Manistee to Big Rapids, and then down towards the Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio border. That sort of triple point there is where that line comes into play. So that's what we have for severe weather. Again, as I said, this is already well underway. Right, we have, let me just flip to this here quickly. Anywhere in this pink box here, all these pink boxes, this is a severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect. And then these orange squares are severe thunderstorm warnings. So you can see we have numerous severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect here. Looks like, oh, nope, there is a considerable tag, severe thunderstorm warning. So this is warned for 70 mile an hour winds. And again, these storms that are prompting these severe thunderstorm warnings, this complex of storms is going to push off to the east-northeast. And anywhere in here that we see development, that's going to transition off to the east and northeast and work its way up into Michigan after midnight tonight. And again, especially from about Holland to Kalamazoo, down to the Three Rivers area here, anywhere in here is your best chance for severe weather this evening. Having said that, I said at the beginning of the stream, my thinking with regard to this setup has not changed a whole lot. I personally am a little bit confused by the SPC severe weather outlook, adding that enhanced risk in there, and adding that slight risk contour through there as well. But of course, they are the experts, and a lot of the times they do this just to add a little bit of buffer in here, right? Just so that they have a little bit of CYA for the sake of maintaining credibility. But those risks are in place nonetheless. So we're going to see a decaying line of storms, right? They've been developing here, and we talked about they're going to push off this way, and we'll look at simulated radar here in just a second. They're going to push off towards Michigan, but as they do so, the environment that these storms are in here is very favorable for severe weather. Very intense wind shear, modest instability, good forcing for ascent. As this transitions to the northeast and works its way into cooler air as we lose that daytime heating, the storm intensity is going to weaken. And so we're not going to see as much, we're going to start to see reports dwindle as we approach the Chicago area, and especially as we move out over the lake. Those storms are going to be decaying quite rapidly as they interact with a very strong capping inversion, and much cooler, less favorable moisture and temperatures here this far north. But again, that risk is non-zero, right? These storms are expected to be extremely intense. Let's take a look at these watches here. Right? High wind threat, 90% chance for a wind event, 70% chance for a wind event over 75 miles per hour. Those are very high probabilities for damaging winds. And I'll turn storm reports on here for about the last 3 hours or so. And you can see that we just have an absolutely crazy swath of wind damage. We've got one there. And then we have this entire area here, just chock full of wind events. All these little colored squares here are damaging wind reports. So there has been an expansive amount of 50, 60, 70, 80 mile per hour winds associated with these two complexes. And again, they're going to weaken as they head towards our area. But when thunderstorms are this intense, they obviously take a little bit of time to calm down. They take a little bit of time to weaken. And if they can sustain themselves for just enough time to make it over the lake, we could see some severe weather within these areas here at greatest risk for severe weather. Per the latest SPC outlook. So definitely keeping a very close eye on all of that. Again, we're several hours out here. Storm timing is probably midnight at the earliest for this area here at the earliest, and then probably 1 to 2 a.m. at the earliest for that area, and then everywhere north and east of here, probably not looking at until about 3 a.m. or so for that severe weather threat or the thunderstorm threat to move through the area. And so again, we talked about this on social media today. I'll actually try to pull up our graphic here if I can. Right, we always worry about severe weather that happens overnight just a little bit more. Because people are sleeping, they're not paying attention to the weather. Their phones are on do not disturb. So if you are in a risk area tonight, again, I think that the risk is low, but it is still there nonetheless. So if you're in a risk area this evening, have a way to receive weather alerts. Have multiple ways to receive those weather alerts to make sure that you are prepared for severe weather. Let's take a look at some models quickly here. We'll take a look at our two big convective allowing models. The time that those are valid for is right up here. Okay, we can see this frame of data is valid at 7 p.m. Then this data was valid at 3 p.m. So once I start looping this, put it in motion, we'll see what is sort of expected to occur here. So this is this is freezing rain. I forgot to change my ouch. Forgot to change the product of the model here. Give me 1 second. It's like, where is everything? There we go. Right? So this, again, this is 3 p.m. 5 p.m. we're still good, but we're starting to see that area of convection move on frame here. This is 9 p.m. Really starting to see that squall line pretty easily here. Again, continuing to transition. This is 11 p.m. and midnight. So midnight, this particular model thinks the leading edge of this line the leading edge of this line that is transitioning off towards us is just southwest of Chicago here at midnight. So if we continue on from midnight, again, things could speed up or slow down a little bit. But by 2, 3, 4 o'clock Saturday morning, we're going to start to be seeing those storms really get out over the lake. We'll see how much they hold themselves together. And then they're going to continue to track into the region before they clear the area by the mid-morning tomorrow. They'll be east of Jackson and Lansing by about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock at the latest, I would say. And then, of course, we could see some redevelopment later in the afternoon in the form of some isolated cells, which will again come with an all hazards threat. We do have that marginal risk in place for day 2. This darker green area here for areas to the south and east of a Mount Pleasant, and we're going to say city of Allegan line. So anywhere southeast of Allegan to Mount Pleasant, you are in that level 1 out of 5 marginal risk for tomorrow. Because again, we think there could be some redevelopment of an all hazards threat. This is our tornado outlook. Again, definitely low end conditional risk for a brief week spin up tornado evident. This is our wind risk. And finally, our hail risk. So hail is currently expected to remain south of our area, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this nudged back into lower Michigan for tomorrow afternoon. But so the bottom line, very dangerous day for severe weather across parts of the Midwest and into the Great Plains. And then tomorrow we're really concerned, again, down here in the southeastern states, Mississippi and Alabama in particular, for that potential for a significant tornado outbreak with multiple strong, long-track, violent tornadoes likely tomorrow. So for reference, the last time the SPC issued a high risk on a day 2 outlook was 13 years ago, and this is only the 3rd time in history that a high risk has been issued for a day 2 outlook. So a very rare, very serious, very life-threatening situation here in the southeast for Alabama and Mississippi tomorrow. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye on that as well as everything that's going on locally tomorrow. Not going to be chasing this evening. Unfortunately, my back is still out of whack, and I'm frankly exhausted because I was up all night essentially. So we're just going to be hanging out here. If something crazy happens and we start getting more than one severe thunderstorm warning, more than one special marine warning, we'll probably jump in and do a live stream. So if you're up and you want to some updates on the weather that's coming in, make sure you turn into that later today, or later tonight, excuse me. And again, this is going to be happening after 2, 3, 4 a.m. So the fact that there's this enhanced risk and this slight risk is normally something we would jump on. But the data we're seeing is just not supportive of sustaining a widespread or even a scattered significant severe weather threat into lower Michigan. Things look very much isolated in nature, probably going to be lower end wind gusts like 60 miles per hour, not looking at 75. Of course, the SPCs are the professionals, and they have that outlook in place for a reason. So we're going to trust their judgment. But if I had to guess, we will probably see nothing more than some gusty winds, small hail, and some showers and thunderstorms overnight tonight. So if you like sleeping in thunderstorms, good news for you this evening. Just make sure you have those ways to receive those weather alerts if on the off chance we do have that severe weather threat creep into our area here overnight tonight. So With that, I will turn it over to comments, questions, concerns. I see we've got quite a few people watching, at least on Twitter. I see a small risk of severe weather in Kent County from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. from Jeff. Yep, Jeff, that's absolutely correct. There is that small risk for severe weather, the level 1 out of 5 marginal risk for Kent County this evening from about, I would say, closer to 3 a.m. Through 8 a.m. By the time storms make it that far north, it'll probably be 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So. Yeah. See how these embedded cells, let's use a different color. See how the cells embedded within this line have this little like bean shape to them? That's still a bad color. We've got this little bean shape to them. Alright, that's not good. And that's just an indication as to the environment that is in place for this event. Very strong shear, wind shear, which is the changing of winds, the speed of the winds, and the direction of the winds as it climbs into the atmosphere. Plenty of shear that is promoting the very easy process for these thunderstorms to rotate, and hence why our tornado probabilities for this particular event are up in the 15 to 29% range across parts of the area here. So super dangerous day for severe weather ahead for much of the area. So please do not take this lightly. Make sure you're staying weather aware this evening. Have a weather radio in your home. Make sure your cell phone's wireless emergency alerts are enabled and that your volume is on. And there's another tornado warning. Let's take a look. Yeah, and if you guys have questions or concerns about a specific area, feel free to let me know. Yeah, and again, the big thing here, 60 miles an hour. That is the forward speed of the storms, not the threat of winds within the storm or within the tornado. This is how fast this storm is moving. 60 miles an hour. That is highway speeds. These storms are going to be extremely fast. They're moving extremely quickly. Need to use caution. Do not take this lightly. If you get a warning, do not wait to see or hear something. Just go. Get in a storm shelter. Get into a basement. And yeah, that's not good. In fact, maybe it's even this here. That's not good. Let's take a look at velocity here. Yeah. Yeah, not good. So, not seeing any questions come through, so we'll probably end our stream here, but I did just want to do a quick update because those probabilities have changed for us. So just to quickly recap, again, we do have some changes to our severe weather threat locally here with the expansion of the enhanced and slight risk areas. Level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk now for New Buffalo, Grand Beach, Three Oaks, Lakeside, and south of Hazelhurst in Berrien County. And then a very large slight risk to include Bridgman, Buchanan, Niles, Three Rivers, Cassopolis, Dowagiac, Paw Paw, Kalamazoo, Portage, Plainwell, Alamo, Ganges, South Haven, and the southern portion of the city of Allegan. Slight risk, level 2 out of 5 for you guys as well. And then we have that very large marginal risk encompassing much of the remainder of our area, with the exception of areas like Lansing, Alma, Mount Pleasant, Reed City, and up towards the Cadillac area there. So yeah, we will probably end our live stream here. If you guys have any questions or concerns, please leave a comment or send